Yes, praise the name of the living God. Hello everyone, my name is Ignatius Obiang. I'm grateful to speak to people like you because this is the mission of the Lord in my life. This is the will of God in my life to speak to people like you so that we may learn together in the Spirit. So today we are going to talk about walking in the Spirit as we are going to Galatians chapter 5 verse 16 proceeding. It says, I say then, walk in the Spirit, and you shall not gratify the desires of the flesh, because the desires of the flesh are contrary to the desires of the Spirit, and the desires of the Spirit are contrary to the desires of the flesh. And the desires of the flesh manifest themselves like idolatry, immorality, murder, envy, such things. And when you go to the manifestation of the Spirit, um, you're going to find joy, peace, love. You see, so the Paul is trying to talk to uh, believers who believe that Christ died for them. Christ died as their savior, who believe that Jesus Christ is their savior. So Paul is trying to talk to such people like you and me that we should walk in the Spirit so that we do not gratify the desires of the flesh, because the desires of the flesh, we have seen them, they are like envy, they are like murder. You see, such things, there are some things that when we do, we are doing them in flesh. And Paul somewhere says also that we should not do things carnally but in spirit. Therefore, he's coming back and telling us in the book of Galatians, chapter 16, that let us walk in the spirit so that we may be separated from the desires of the flesh. When you are not walking in the desires of the spirit, you are going to gratify the desires of the flesh. When you are gratifying the desires of the flesh, you are going to have a very hard time in your life. You see, when we go to Judges chapter 13, you see the Israelites are being placed unto the hands of their enemies, who are the Philistines. This is because they decided to walk, to do the desires of the flesh. They decided to do the desires of the flesh, but not the desires of the spirit. Therefore, God became annoyed and decided to place them in the hands of their enemies for 40 years. Therefore, they were they were tortured there, physically, spiritually. They were really tortured for those 40 years. But the Lord is merciful unto us. Even if we have not been walking in the spirit, we have been doing the desires of the flesh. If we feel that the Lord should enter into our lives, our hearts, if we open the doors of our hearts and let the Lord enter into us, the Lord is merciful to forgive us. The Lord is merciful to do for us what we want Him to do for us. You see, when we are walking in the Spirit, we are going to have peace around us. We are going to have joy, happiness, love. We are not going to have quarrels. We are not going to quarrel with people just because we are walking in the Spirit, just because we are doing the desires of the Spirit. We are not gratifying the desires of the flesh. You know, when you gratify the desires of the flesh, even if someone give you a pat on your back, you are going to have that urge to pay it back. Why are you giving me a pat? Yes, I'm sorry for that. We were talking about the someone giving you a pat on your back, and you now want to pay it back just because you want to uh, gratify the desires of your flesh. You know, when he gives you a pat, he's appreciating you, but you're going to see it like he's he's is doing something evil against you. So you must be very careful to handle people. When you walk in the spirit, you are going to handle people in a spiritual way.